I was actually racing Betim.
In what?
He was in his 911.
Oh, his old one?
His beater one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to dump the clutch and just let it rip. I dumped the clutch and the car stood still and the RPMs went up. I was like, all right. And then it just smelled like clutch all the way to K1. That was the day where my appendix exploded.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good thing you made it to the hospital.
Just randomly, we were like, what you pack for lunch? And he was like, oh, just some fruit and stuff. I was like, you don't have any bananas, do you? He was like, yeah, bananas. I have like 3 of them. Yeah. We're like, no, you don't. And we took them out of his bag and just threw them.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Off the Record. We have talked about Off the Record so many times, you already know what I'm going to say. But in case this is your first time listening to the show, you better know about Off the Record. You know why? Because they provide a crucial service to not only the enthusiast community, but anyone who owns and drives a car or motorcycle. If you get a ticket, which, don't be fooled, is not about safety, it's about generating money at your expense. Money for the police, money for the court system, money for the insurance companies, and you are opting into that system by pleading guilty to those moving violations. Never, ever, ever plead guilty to a moving violation. Fight it. You know why? Because Off the Record is here and they've got your back. Off the Record will connect you to a qualified partner attorney in the jurisdiction where you received the ticket. All you have to do is make an account with Off the Record. It's super easy. And then once you've got that account, take a photo or scan the ticket that you receive. Admit no guilt. Off the Record will then fight that ticket on your behalf, and an overwhelming percentage of the time, high 90s, they can get the points from that ticket off your record. And that means you're not paying for that mistake over and over and over again with court fees, with insurance premium adjustments, etc., etc. Go to offtherecord.com/TST or download the Off the Record app onto your smartphone and use code TST10 when making an account. That will get you, either of those will get you 10% off all services from Off the Record going forward. So what you want to do is make that account now. Download the app or go to the website, make the account now. That way you feel secure in your head that it's there if you need it. Then if you get pulled over, if you get a ticket, you go, this is no problem. I've got Off the Record. They're going to handle this. Not a week goes by that I don't get an email or a DM or from somebody who has used Off the Record and they have just made tickets go away. It's amazing. I've used them a whole bunch and they are incredibly helpful. Like in terms of like tools you need on the road, you know, smartphone with GPS, Waze, traffic, that kind of stuff, radar detector, and Off the Record. That is the holy trinity of road tripping tools because you're totally covered from every angle. You're not going to have the law sneak up on you. Offtherecord.com/TST or download the Off the Record app and use code TST10, get you 10% off. And of course, if you have been listening to the show for a while, you know the Patreon is where it's at. Of course, if you want to get an ad-free listening experience, get our podcasts early, have an extra show every month and more, patreon.com/the Smoking Tire Podcast. But we've added a new tier, the championship tier. You get everything that comes with all the tiers leading up to Pro Driver, everything I just said, plus a private feed of our car review videos with no ads at all. And I mean no YouTube ads and no ads that I am personally doing. It's a totally ad-free premium Smoking Tire experience over there at the Champions tier. Hit up patreon.com/the Smoking Tire Podcast. All right, on this episode of the podcast, Bucky Lasek is in studio. You know this guy. You probably played him as a character in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I know I did. It's crazy that we're like friends now, and this dude was in video games when I was in middle school. But I love Bucky. He has pivoted very, very nicely to being a major car enthusiast, racing driver, Subaru aficionado. Now he's a wrench and a YouTuber, I cannot tell you how hard we tried over a period of about 6 months to make this show happen, but crazy things kept happening. I got COVID the day he was supposed to come in, and then his appendix exploded the day he was supposed to come in after that, and then he got some gig that took him to the other side of the country. We tried like 4 or 5 times. It was crazy, but I love this dude, and he has now perched himself atop the legendary guest status because he has brought fresh fish, which he is going to cut into sushi for us to eat off of one of his limited edition skateboard decks live on the air. It's a fucking good time here with Bucky Lasek on the Smoking Tire podcast. Well, it's good to have you. Thanks for making the time.
Yeah, thanks.
We tried so hard. First, I got COVID.
Yep.
And then your appendix burst.
Right.
It was like, for a while, I was like, this is just not going to fucking happen.
This was a tough one. This was a tough one.
Why was it so hard?
I was waiting for my car to break down on the way here. Honestly, I was like, just checking. Like,
with the wave of threes of fucking
what's
horrible
that
things.
smell?
Final destination.
Right? But then you showed up with Yellowtail.
Yeah.
Is that what this is? Yellowtail?
Yeah, that's Yellowtail caught just off the San Clemente Islands.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just
See, this is a new high score in guest snacking.
I was telling Zack, I was like, I'm pretty competitive, and I haven't really won anything lately, so I'm hoping I won something.
Yeah,
Definitely won this.
Yeah. I thought you were kind of joking when you were like, should I bring fish? I was like, yeah. And I was like, well, he doesn't have to, but I sort of hope he does. And then not only did you bring fish, you've got soy sauce and wasabi and little dishes for dipping, and the lemon and avocado, and you're gonna like
jalapenos, avocado, lemon. Normally we would do this on the boat.
This motherfucker.
We would do this on the boat, and I usually carry all this. My buddy Ron takes us out on his boat, and it's pretty cool. Like it's an all day thing, but yeah, if we catch a fish early enough, I'll slice up some yellowtail and make this little treat I'm about to make you.
Like right out of the ocean and into your mouth is a pretty delightful situation.
It's pretty sick.
It's really, really good. I've been in that situation before, and it's like, oh, this is why people go fishing.
Do you fish at all?
Horribly.
Yeah.
I love being on boats, but I'm like bad fucking luck when it comes to fishing.
But if someone's like, here, let's go fishing.
Oh, yeah, I'll go. I'll go.
Okay.
But you probably don't want me on your boat because I bring a fishing curse to everybody that I...
No bananas, right?
Right.
You don't,
where did the fucking banana thing
I don't
come
know,
from?
but everyone sticks to it.
Yeah.
Wait, what? No bananas
No
on
bananas on the boat.
Yeah, it's like it's like a thing.
Interesting.
It's nationwide, possibly even global.
Yeah.
It's
Too many people will slip and fall in banana
do not
peels?
bring a banana on a fishing boat because it's bad luck.
All right.
That's a thing.
I did not know that.
People will fucking lose their minds if they see a banana on a fishing boat.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We actually invited someone, and he got like on the dock about to get on the boat, and like just randomly we were like, "What you pack for lunch?" And he was like, "Oh, just some fruit and stuff." I was like, "You don't have any bananas, do you?" I was like, "Yeah, bananas. I have like 3 of them." Yeah. We're like, "No, you don't." And we took them out of his bag and just threw them. Yeah. And he was like, "What are you doing? That's my bananas." I was like, "Yeah, not on this
You're
trip."
eating tuna for lunch, motherfucker.
Who's more suspicious, do you think? Superstitious, sorry. Baseball players or fishermen?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That is hard.
I almost want to say baseball players.
The stuff that they do is... a banana would be pretty mild for a baseball superstition. Baseball superstitions are weird as hell. They don't wash their clothes.
Yeah, like they got to do certain... They have certain ticks that they got to go through. Yeah.
Real OCD.
Like left, left, right, left, and then
like
throw.
Skip the step on the way into the clubhouse. Like don't step on that one. Like
did you have a skating superstition? Or a racing superstition?
Not really. I think like sometimes usually I'll put my left pad on first, but it doesn't really. Sometimes I'll switch it up. I'll be like, oh, today I'm going big today. Like I'm gonna put the right shoe on first before the left. Like not really though, but.
Did it ever make a difference?
I think sometimes, like when I walk up the stairs, like every time I walk up the stairs, I actually climb stairs. I'm a professional stair climber, by the way. I skateboard somewhat, but I just climb stairs the whole entire time because all I do is fall.
You're really just getting down from the stairs in the most complicated way possible. Yeah.
But what I do is when I walk up the stairs, sometimes I notice like I'm always left foot first, this step, and then like if I'm like if I'm like battling something, I'm like, oh man, I'm going right foot. I'm going straight to the second step. Like
That's funny.
And I'll think about that stuff, and it just makes me think differently. And I think, you know, it kind of breaks up the intuition. Sometimes you want to break that up.
Mm-hmm. The professional stair climber thing is fun. People are like, dude, how great is it that you drive cars for a living? I was like, I don't drive the cars for a living. I do like, I edit videos, I answer emails, I sit on airplanes. Like, that's what I do for a living. Driving the cars is the bonus.
Yeah.
And like, you're like, for you, like, yeah, I don't skateboard for a living. I climb stairs for a living, and then I skateboard for fun to get down off the platform I just climbed up.
When my wife went skating with me for the first time, she was like, "You guys fall a lot." I was like, "Yeah."
That was surprising to her. She's only ever watched X Games and never been to like a local skate park.
Right.
When did she meet you? Like how early? Or how long ago was this?
I was 22 or so.
It's been a minute.
It's 20-something, 26, 27
So you were
years.
pro, and she was like, "I thought you just landed everything all the time."
She didn't even really know I was pro when she first met me. She just we met through a friend.
Okay.
But yeah, once she found out I skated and everything, it started clicking. And then she went and saw me skate. She was like, "You don't really skate. You just fall." I was like, "Yeah, I'm practicing."
That's how. That's what practicing is. That's why I could never skate. I've seen people fall so many times, and it's like, I can't fall that much.
Yeah,
I'm too fragile.
If skating was like racing cars, you wouldn't make it like past turn 3.
Hell no, right?
You'd fall and
Imagine
then you
you
start
crashed
back
a
over.
car like you fell on fucking skating. Yeah, that's brutal.
I'm just gonna warm up on like ollies, and you fall and like twist your ankle. That's like you hurt yourself getting into the car somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
When you switched from skating to racing cars and you like didn't crash the first time, you're like, this is easy.
Racing cars is way easier than skating,
I bet.
in a sense, until you start getting like more into the detail.
Yeah. But it's like the baseline is higher. That you're not like literally smashing your face into a fucking hard object.
It's definitely easier, but when you do smash, it's costly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But with age comes a cage, and he's getting the knife out. We're gonna start cutting fish, I think.
I mean, should I start?
Yeah, dude.
Do you see this thing?
It's a cool knife. Yeah, it's got the Lasek logo on it. Who made you this knife? It's rad.
Leucadia Knives.
Wow, I really like it.
Small little company down south in San Diego area.
It's a beautiful knife. I really like it. Using knives like that on boats is some dangerous shit. That's where you hit a wave and all of a sudden that thing's buried in your fucking chest.
Yeah, my buddy. Usually you stick the knives and stuff like where the rod holder is, like where the bait tank is.
Yeah.
And for some reason his knife was like laid in there, so that the rod was actually holding it, like to where like if you walked by it, it would like brace it.
Yeah.
And it got his finger.
Oh,
and it was like one of the first times we went out, and like he almost sliced his finger off, and he's like, "I'm okay."
And those fillet knives are like insanely sharp. I have a fancy fillet knife in my house, and it is by far the most dangerous thing in my home.
Yeah.
And we're gonna eat sushi off of the Lasek limited edition Subaru board, which is fucking rad. Does this board have a name?
I just call it the bucket board. It's a limited release. We did 100 of them. This is what we call, in car terms, it's called the press board. I have to order like 10 or so extra ones.
Yeah.
Just in case,
you need to eat
UPS
sushi.
loses it or something. But I didn't number this one, so it's like 00 of 100. So it's very limited.
Yeah, when we get a press car that's got no VIN on it, that's pre-production, we're like, what happens to this one does not matter.
Exactly.
This one doesn't count.
So this one's going to get.
This will end up on the wall eventually. But I did clean it before you put fish on it.
Okay, so we're going to get started here, I guess.
Make some sashimi.
I'm going to make some Yellowtail sashimi.
You get fish juice all over it. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I got some paper towels here.
Oh, dude, fucking Bucky rolled up in an RSTI with a cooler full of fucking fish and all accoutrements. And, oh, wow, it smells really nice.
Oh, it's fresh.
Yeah.
100%.
What else were you catching out there?
We caught a Spanish mackerel.
Oh, that's tasty.
I didn't really know how to prep it, so I didn't. You got a trash can?
We'll just put it on this plate for the time being.
That's one of my favorite
we didn't think all the
fish
way
to order
through
at sushi place. Like, it's kind of a sleeper fish.
Yeah, I didn't know about, like, you can eat those raw? I don't know. Like, I didn't want to
I've had Spanish mackerel sushi before. You can
okay,
definitely
so
do
you
it.
can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. That's
yeah,
really
I heard
nice.
it's like really tasty. Is it
Yeah.
like Wahoo-ish?
No, I feel like it's got more. I
It's
feel like it's almost in between salmon and wahoo in terms of
So it's
flavor.
oily.
It's a little more oily.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got more fat in it,
Okay.
Yeah.
but definitely a distinct flavor. But I really enjoy it.
It's whenever I go to a fancy place, I always think to order it.
I got lemon.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm so
What-
prepared. I'm so proud of myself.
I'm really excited that you're so
Awesome.
excited about this too.
Well, it's like, it's like being a sushi chef, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it's
It's a man of so many talents. So great. It's awesome. I'm so ready for this afternoon sushi.
I can't wait for my fiance to ask how work was, and I'll be like, "Oh, it was hard today. Today was tough."
It's very, very challenging. You
I'm
can
gonna
move.
put this
You want
in
to
front
move
of
the
you so
board?
that
Yeah.
I can work
Yeah,
a little
here.
easier. And I'm trying to mind not making noise on the table for
That's
all your
I mean,
listeners.
look, if you're doing a thing, it's like it's a kind of acceptable.
Trying to do it
So,
as quiet as possible.
what
Jalapeno?
what are you doing to take care of your body these days when you're skating?
I'm eating sushi.
How are you? No, but for real though, how are you like? Because you still fall.
No, honestly, I fell about 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And luckily I had to leave town to do some appearances and car stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I was able to take 2.5 weeks off. So I was good. Like my body needed it. And skateboarding at 50 definitely takes its toll.
Yeah.
I used to have rough days where I would wake up sore because I skated hard.
Do you do like
I just
yoga
have
or
rough
shit like
days.
that? What do you do like preventatively? Anything?
I stretch. That's
Yeah.
the main thing I do. I stretch and I just do like basic body weight kind of workouts.
Mhm.
At least that's what I'm telling you. I don't really do anything aside from stretching, and I try to watch my weight, watch what I eat. You know, my weight. I'm about 8 pounds overweight right now, though.
Are you real precise with it?
Yeah, I'm like 175. I need to be like 165, 155. Is like when I was racing a lot. I was like 155.
I just,
Ooh,
oh
almost
man,
got
that
my
was
finger.
fucking
Ooh.
close to
You
your
see
finger,
that?
dude. Yeah, that was really close to your
We got
He watched it.
And like a
skate
skate deck is like kind of wobbly to me.
Yeah.
It's like sawing.
If
all
anyone
of
has
it.
balance in this
touched it.
room, it's this
I
guy.
touched
I
my-
know, but like
I touched my finger with that,
you got really,
and Matt
you got
saw
really
it.
close, and I was
Yeah.
looking down. I was like, ah.
This is a weird game show. Like, answer these questions while cutting
This is
fish.
going to be the special edition with like dyed in Bucky's blood.
No, I wouldn't do that. If I did that, I would have to like go switch or something, like because.
Go switch.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, it's
This
a
is a
good thing I
cat's
have
sheen.
like tortoise skin, and I always get made fun of because of that.
You must be. Are you? I mean, you're still dominant one side on a skateboard, right?
I'm working on that actually. I'm starting to skate switch a lot more. It's kind of that's what I actually slammed on was skating switch.
But I mean, you've got fucking X Games gold medals coming out the ass. Even at that level, you're still practicing, like doing something fairly straight. I realize I'm not a skateboarder at all. So if this is something that's not obvious, forgive me. But like that seems like something you should be like great at.
I mean, once you get to a certain point, you get bored. You know what I mean? It's like driving the same track all the time. Like let's go counterclockwise this time.
Oh, I get it.
So it's kind of the same thing for me with skating. So how big of a piece do you want? Like that?
Dude,
Like something like that?
Freestyle, whatever you're feeling.
I don't know. I don't. I mean,
That's
gonna
a
go,
big-ass
I'm gonna
thick
go.
piece.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that because.
When
Still a
you
big piece.
were like, peak competing X Games, were fakie tricks not given as many points as regular stance 720 versus a switch 3 or switch 5? Were they just not scoring as high, so you guys focused more on doing bigger tricks with your regular stance?
Folks, got to take a quick break from the action for Blackvue. You know them. We've been talking about them. And today, it's all about the Blackvue DR970X dash cam. Whether you're a professional driver or a cautious car owner, the Blackvue DR970X is the perfect companion for your journeys. With its state-of-the-art technology, this dash cam captures everything that happens on the road in stunning detail, providing you with crystal clear video evidence in case of an accident. And thanks to its cloud connectivity, you can access your footage from anywhere at any time using the Blackvue app. With the Blackvue DR970X series dash cam, you can rest easy when you leave your car parked outside. The dash cam comes with native parking mode, which means it can be hardwired to your vehicle's fuse panel out of the box while preventing your car's battery from draining. Parking mode will activate automatically when ignition is switched off to keep guard on your vehicle. And thanks to that video buffer, the few seconds leading to impact or motion detection events are also recorded. This means in case of a hit and run on your parked vehicle, you will have irrefutable video proof of what happened before and after. When paired with Blackvue Cloud, your dash cam automatically saves event videos to the cloud in real time as they happen. That way you can still have valuable evidence even if your dash cam gets unplugged or stolen. The DR970X series comes in single and dual camera versions. The front camera captures every little detail in crisp 4K UHD quality, while the rear camera comes with a full HD Sony Starvis sensor that ensures best clarity under any light. There's a version for taxi and Uber drivers with an infrared driver-facing camera. So get the best dash cam protection and reliability with the Blackvue DR970X series dash cams. Go to blackvue.com/TST. That's BLACKVUE.com/TST to learn more about the DR970X series dash cams and use code TIRE to get 10% off any Blackvue dash cam or parking mode accessory with free shipping for orders over $200. Again, that's BLACKVUE.com/TST, promo code TIRE to get 10% off any Blackvue dash cam or parking mode accessory and free shipping for orders over $200.
You know, peak competing X Games were fakie tricks not given as many points as regular stance 720 versus a switch 3 or switch 5? Were they just not scoring as high, so you guys focused more on doing bigger tricks with your regular stance?
Well, we would base a run around the whole entire run would have to be complete as far as like when your difficulty, use of whole ramp, stuff like that. Nowadays the runs are shorter.
Okay.
So now you can kind of just get straight to the meat,
I just saw a clip circulating on Instagram when Tony was first landed the 900.
Yeah.
And you're like right in the clip, like losing your shit.
Yeah.
Was that like when you see someone else, even if you're competing against them, do something really crazy? Are you jealous? Are you just proud that that something, that a new achievement was unlocked in terms of the whole industry, or what?
I think it's more of a momentum builder. We use it. We want to see our friends succeed, and I think when they raise to another level, it creates like this environment, this vibe, like a good crowd. It just raises the stakes of what the level you want to go and be at. So when someone lands something, the stoke rises.
Yeah. And is it one of those things like in, when the example they always use is like the 4-minute mile or whatever, like, no one could do it for 100 years and then it's done once and then, 25 people do it in the next year. It's like you learn that it's possible and then it becomes something that everyone kind of goes for.
Well, that happens like when I go and skate normal, like I'll go and learn a trick. And then for me, it's like once I do a trick once, I say like, okay, I got lucky, I made it. Now, if I can do that trick like 3 times by the end of the day or so, then I figure I got it wired. Wow. I got it dialed. So at that point.
What does your hit percentage have to be before you're comfortable doing it in like a competition setting? You have to be able to do it 5 times in a row? You have to do it 50% of the time, or
there's runs. If I can complete a run and throw it in the run, then I'm ready to take it to competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. These chunks are like real serious. These are
like an ounce and a half.
This is like we're each eating a whole fish. Here. Now that knife,
Do I make you nervous?
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
You got to believe.
A little bit.
I trust him. He's done this before.
It's sharp.
Do you feel the need to get back into competitive car racing?
Yeah, I always do. It all comes down to, for me, it was being able to skate and race. I could do it well. I did it well. I think 2013 I had like one of my best years. I won every X Games. I competed, got on podiums in Rallycross. But then it was like I wasn't able to concentrate on one enough. Racing took me away from skating entirely. Like from testing to appearances to the actual race, where I'd be off my board for like a week or two and then I'd have like X Games. It's like that's
a problem.
And I would do good, because I felt like it kept my mind fresh. I didn't forget how to skate.
Yeah.
It just
that last 1% that you need to get a gold medal, though.
Right.
It's kind of and you skipped over some of the other like you didn't go to like motocross or something. It was like straight to cars, which I like because
I know better. I have lots of friends. You saw where
Travis went. You're like, I'll go.
I have lots of friends that are good at riding bikes, and none of them have their spleen.
Do you like riding bikes for fun, though?
Not necessarily. Like, I kind of tend to stay off and away from bikes.
I get it. If you're the kind of person who might do something dumb,
absolutely,
then staying off is a good
Even if you don't
strategy.
try to do something dumb, like it can go wrong so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you intimidated by the size of these?
They're huge fucking trunks,
We'll
dude.
be fine.
I'm not necessarily intimidated. I'm just like, I'm kind of impressed. And also like, maybe I don't need dinner after this. This is like legit.
I'm really glad I didn't eat before I came here.
And I like that even though you're not like racing on Team Subaru right now, like you seem to be diehard Subaru.
Yeah.
Like just culturally diehard Subaru. Like you're not being paid to drive Subarus, and yet you seem to exclusively drive Subarus.
And you showed up in a 2.5 RS, swapped 2.5 RS that you built.
Yeah.
You said you have 5 at home. What was it like? When did that start? When did this love of the OG Impreza begin?
That came, when times were slow. It was around COVID. It was around like when stuff was just like, for me, it was a slow time, and I was like, what can I do? And lo and behold, I was like, I think it's time to build a car. I want to build a GC Impreza. 1, I want to build one. 2, I know everyone else wants to I guess I just thought like, oh, if I want to build one, maybe everyone else wants to build one because I think they're cool. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to build the sickest GC Impreza that I can build personally. So I just went to work on it. Like I did from body. I found a beater, $800, ordered the kit, and just went from there and just stripped it, welded all the moldings, and did everything at my friend's body shop. And just, I didn't have anything else to do. I wasn't racing anymore.
Yeah. Skating
was kind of at a low. So I was like, I guess I'm going to film this and start a YouTube channel. I didn't think of it as a YouTube channel. I was like, well, I'm just going to document this car build because I think it's cool. So maybe someone else thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
Boom. That's
the car is cool. That white car?
Yeah.
The car rules. It's a great looking car.
That thing rips.
Is that even a street car anymore?
Is that this one? Because I know that you
Where'd
have
my
5.
spoon go?
That's that one. It's right here, dude.
It's right there.
Oh.
White on white, it's really tough.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah, that's the white car, right? The bucket.
Yeah, that thing rips, dude. That thing, like...
So give us the stats on this car. What's the motor?
Motor's a EJ.
Okay.
257 out of a 04 STI. So everything's basically swapped from a 04 STI. It's a built motor from Rally Spec. My buddy Vince built the motor. Just recently put a Cusco rear diff in it.
Nice.
Radium surge tank. It's got KW Club Sports on it. It's pretty legit. Like I could take this up to Palomar or take it to any track and whoop up on GT3s and probably whoop up on a GT3 RS.
Well, it's
depending on
light,
who's in it.
right?
Yeah, it's super light. It's got power to weight ratio that is like mind-boggling.
It looks cool. It's wide. It's got big. Who makes those wheels? The speed lines?
Those are 1552. Yeah.
Sorry, 1552.
White and gold.
White and gold is
Huge
good.
fan.
Carbon fiber things. It's pretty rad. And so, like, what did you actually enjoy the wrench process, or do you just enjoy having the car now that it's done?
I enjoyed the wrench. The wrenching was actually quite fun. Like I said, I didn't have anything else to do, so it was just a matter of going to my buddy's more of a garage. It wasn't really a body shop, and just kind of showing up in the morning and just getting dirty, you know. And
Did you know how to really wrench before, or did you learn by doing on this?
Yeah, I've worked on cars previously. Never to the extent of this one, but I worked at a body shop for 2 years. So
You did?
I definitely knew how to take cars apart. I didn't know how to. I knew how to paint and how to take cars apart. I've never really done motor work, and still don't. You know, I have friends that do that way better than I do. So
These can get a little hairy when you go big power. So did you keep the power kind of reasonable
Yeah.
and just lighten everything up?
Yep, it's about 420 wheel,
Yeah.
which is happy. You get to the 500s, you start getting into just headaches.
Yeah.
You know, they run good, and then all of a sudden something is off, and then as soon as like you get maybe the fuel pump dies, then you have issues of starvation. And
You do E85?
I do E85.
Because you're down in the land where you can get it. You can't even get that shit up here.
You can't?
It's hard to find.
It's very hard to find in LA.
Is it like expensive too if you can find it?
Dude, I've never seen a station in Los Angeles that sells it.
Really?
Seriously. Yeah. Like,
Do you have the app?
I don't have the app. Maybe
app would help.
if I downloaded the app. It's so annoying that my car runs on on octane booster and like race gas, and that's more convenient than E85.
And that's super expensive.
The octane booster method is not that bad. It's about $6 a tank.
Oh, okay. So you just do the additive.
I do the additive, and other than turning my exhaust tips a little bit orange, it works good. It's fine. It does work. Oh, it's good. But this car looks great. It's like it's got the super. Is that like a 22B style body, basically?
Yeah, that's a 60 millimeter wide body kit from ABW. It's 40 mil wider than a 22B.
It's pretty flared.
Yeah.
Is it a flat white, or is it just...
That's primer.
That's primer.
It's been primer
Bucky,
for 5
I can
years.
paint cars. Lasek.
Bucky Picasso Lasek.
No, that's seriously like, it's got green door jambs and green trunk jam.
Perfect Instagram
and
car.
It goes
in this shot on the track. It looks fucking great.
It does.
At Chuck Walla going 100, it looks perfect.
Yeah,
if you get too close.
I have
Sweet.
priority issues. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like when you get to the point where it's like, oh, it looks fine, the way it is, and then
Yeah.
like, it's hard to take it back apart.
Yeah.
Especially if it drives great, if that's where your focus is.
Yeah.
That's a good priority.
What do you think it weighs? Have you put it on a scale?
It's just under 3,000.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I bet it fucking rips. It's got to be
It does.
great.
I wish I was able to bring it. It has like a fuel cut, not a fuel cut, but it has a fuel pump cut. You know, when you can only fill it for like 5 seconds before the fuel pump stops.
Oh, that's so annoying.
So it has and I just did a tank swap to it, so something's going on. I don't know if it's something I did with adding the surge tank to it where it's not venting correctly.
Are those all yours, or is that just a Subaru track? There's like 5
Oh, that's-
Subarus there.
No, it's a Subaru track
Okay.
day. iWire. It's a buddy of mine that does all the wiring for Subarus.
Oh, cool.
He had a track day and invited everyone out.
And some of the most fun cars I've ever driven are the
I can't wait for you to
RSTIs.
drive it.
They're fucking great.
I
They're
gotta
so fun.
connect with you guys when you go out.
The ones that are really nicely dialed in, they're crazy fast. They're a great time.
Yeah.
They do really good.
No,
you ever
they
drive
party.
one with the weird JDM engine, the 2-liter?
Yes.
It's not weird. It's just the JDM.
Well, the blue car I have is a 205 swap, which is the JDM engine, but it has the 5-speed still, so it's real soft. You gotta kind of baby the shifts. Hence why my clutch is pretty much done. I was actually racing Betim.
In what?
He was in his 911.
Oh, his old one?
His beater one.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna dump the clutch and just let it rip. I dumped the clutch and the car stood still and the RPMs went up.
Shit.
I was like, all right, and then it just smelled like clutch all the way to K1. That was the day where my appendix exploded.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good thing you made it to the hospital. That was like when you were like, all right, I'm gonna come today, and then like half an hour before you were supposed to leave, you're like, my stomach really hurts, and like I just threw up blood. Something. I was like, yeah, don't come. Don't go to the hospital. And then like 2 hours later, there's a photo of just like your feet in a hospital bed. And he's like, yeah, good thing I came to the hospital because this isn't looking so good.
and then the next day was you with a jar with your
Dude,
appendix in
look
it.
at this sushi.
This
These are like
amazing.
We're straight fucking
We are
omakase.
fancy. This is omakase.
Except we only have forks. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you so much.
You ever had eyes rolled at you when you ask for a fork in a sushi restaurant? They don't love that.
No, it's like going to Benihana's and
You know what?
asking for a
I do
fork.
ask for a fork at Benihana for the salad.
I asked for a fork
fucking-
immediately.
I
You know
hate
why? Because I
chopsticks
can't eat
myself.
shit with chopsticks. And when you're at Benihana, you're going big. You know what I mean? Like I need a thing of rice.
You know you can do chef's lessons at Benihana. My wife got it for me for my birthday.
Yeah.
It's the best shit ever. It is like the best $200 you'll ever spend in your life. Because
That's how much that was?
I don't know how much it was.
I mean, it was a great experience.
I'm
because we got to
guessing-
eat there, and you cooked for us.
Right.
From
So
the
you
friend
go,
side,
you
it's
go,
awesome.
yeah.
you go at lunchtime
Great.
and take the lesson, and then you bring your friends back at dinner time, and you cook dinner for them. It rules, and on top of
That
that,
is
you
pretty
get to eat
cool.
Benihana for 2 meals in one day.
Yeah, it was
And-
really cool.
Did
and
you
I
do
put
the
a-
jokes too?
Yes, and they teach you that the big part of teppanyaki cooking is making noise.
Oh, you're
They
gonna
teach
get
you-
some complaints.
They make sure you learn how to like all the noisemakers, flipping the shrimp, the whole shit. It's great. And now I put a flat top in my new house, like a plancha top, and now I make Benihana at home. And it is delightful.
Make the onion volcano, everything.
Onion volcano. We have
I'll steal some wasabi.
yeah.
after you.
Actually, the sad truth to Benihana is that the secret to all of it is garlic butter. They put garlic butter in
Oh, they butter.
everything.
That butter.
That
you
and-
just see the big wad of
Yeah.
butter they put in it.
The big bowl, and then you also can go to Benihana and buy the sauces for $5 a pint.
I didn't know that.
The mustard sauce and the ginger sauce are $5 a pint. So you just get them at the front register, and then you can make Benihana at home real easy.
This looks bomb.
Hell yeah, dude! Thanks for like catching our dinner. Go and get it out. What kind of boat your buddy got? It's a nice big
It's like a
one.
30-footer.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
this is fucking great. All
It
right, here we
has
go.
like twin Volvo motor diesels.
Oh yeah, they make a great motor.
Dude.
Volvo Pentas, those are awesome.
Yeah, but get this. To replace like this little solenoid, it's like $4,500 for a reverse solenoid.
Whoa.
Like it's insane. They
You know
like corner
why?
the market.
Where else you gonna go?
Exactly.
What else you gonna do? All right, here we go.
You going in?
Oh yeah,
This is so great.
that's fantastic. Well caught, sir. Fuck yeah, dude. All day, every day. It's delicious. A great fish. My old man's boat's got Volvo Pentas on it. Mm-hmm. Twin charged. Supercharger and a turbocharger.
That
And when
sounds
you-
expensive.
Probably. And when you fucking lay into it, you can hear it spool up the supercharger first, and then around 3,000 RPM transfers over to the turbo. So it goes, it transfers over, and it's fucking sick. They're diesels. It's really cool. Twin charged 6-cylinder diesels. I think they're 660 horsepower each.
This is so awesome, dude.
They're
Thank
fucking
you.
great.
All right. Did I win?
You
Yep.
win. Oh,
so
yeah,
far,
you
you are
absolutely
the
win.
team leader.
There's no bottle
100%.
of whiskey another guest could bring that would compete with this.
Yeah. They're going to really step their game up. DeMuro and his gas station fucking donuts.
His cookies and stuff. Yeah, he eats like he's the last man on earth, and he's like, the Twinkies are still good. And
Yeah. Do you still have the skate park at your house? Are you
No,
still
I
there?
moved. I
Oh.
moved. Yeah, unfortunately, the house was not as nice as the yard. So everyone's like, "Why'd you move?" I was like, "Because the house was just falling apart. It was costing me too much money, and I can't live in the bowl."
Did you sell it to another skateboarder?
No, I sold it to some realtor. The house wasn't even for sale. She came by
Door knocker?
Well, we
No
actually,
way.
there's another house for sale up the road. So we're like, the neighborhood was kind of going to crap. There's like 3 rehab houses. Guy kept buying up property. So he's like buying up the neighborhood. And it's a nice neighborhood. It's like next to Rancho Santa Fe. So all these new shade homes were getting built, like 40-some homes at the top of our street. And our street already sucked. So we're like, let's just put it out there. Let's see if we can, if it'll sell. We put it out there. The lady was like, I want to look at your house. We just said, we didn't even really, we put a for sale kind of sign out. I don't know, I forget what it was.
Owner, for sale by owner, make offer.
Yeah, so she came, she was like, okay, well, we're looking at this house up the street, but we would like to look at yours. If we like it, we'll buy it. I was like, okay, fine, honey, let's get the dogs, let's go for lunch. And we just let her in our house with the realtor, of course.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, we want to buy your house. I was like, oh, well, that was easy.
Yeah.
I'm out.
No fees? Fucking dunzo.
Yeah, so she, originally, we were supposed to have access to the bowl. Then she backed out of it.
Oh, bummer.
And then her friend's a lawyer. My friend's a lawyer. This is a liability.
Yeah,
I was like, no shit, that's why you have this waiver.
Yeah.
I've had it for almost 10 years. And she was like, blah, 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 blah. And then she turned into a real not so nice person.
Oh. Yeah.
And then I turned into a real not so nice person. And then I was like, fine, I'm done. I don't want to ever skate here again until you leave. But I heard it was for sale.
Did you fill the bowl with water?
It's still there. It's still there. So if you want to jump a fence,
hell yeah,
get your sesh on.
I totally understand the legal thing though. Like my friend wanted to bring her kids to take swim lessons in our pool. And it was like, well, we better call the insurance agent and make sure that's okay, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out, oh, is that it? That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
That's fucking sick.
She's a beaut. We threw parties every year.
That's great.
That's so cool.
Who do you know of your extreme athlete friends? Who has the best home sporting feature? Travis is pretty next level with his shit.
Travis, I would probably choose Travis's just because it's driving stuff.
Yeah.
And he does have some skate stuff there as well. But Elliot Sloan and Bob Burnquist still has probably...
What do they have?
They have 2, like each one of them have like a mega ramp, like that
Oh,
ski
really?
jump. It's like the ski jump looking
Yeah,
thing, and so
yeah.
like the big quarter pipe, like at X Games.
I mean, that DC video
big air?
made
Yeah.
an impact when it came out when I was in college. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how come he's below the ground? And then he popped out and flew 150 feet.
Wow.
And it completely changed my
Putting
brain.
a mega ramp at your house is wild. No
Yeah.
HOA there, I'm guessing.
No. And Elliot has a big vert ramp as well. So does Bob. Bob's vert ramp, he actually layered in concrete. So his vert ramp was so old and destroyed that he was like, oh, I'm just going to layer it in 3 inches of concrete.
Oh, wow. That's pretty sick. Oh, is this the Oh, my God. Wow, look at the fucking elevated
that's
view.
Bob's.
Dude.
That's so sick. It's huge.
Yeah, look at that.
That fucking rules.
Yikes.
I mean, you could actually put the house under the ramp.
You gotta
Yeah.
gap the house.
I saw some, I follow this, architecture shit on Instagram, and someone did put, a mini, it was bigger
I
than
saw
a mini
that.
pipe.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was part of the house.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was fucking sick.
It was like a skater's dream house.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. Does Deegan still have the rally stage at his house?
No, he moved to North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So he is in a different spot.
When he was down in Temecula, and we went to film something down there, and he had a pretty legit rally special stage in his yard, around his house.
Tea time.
With a jump.
Ken Block had that too, right?
He had a jump. Ken Block had a big piece of property.
He
right?
had the snowboard park.
Right.
That was so cool.
Behind that he would, I think he jumped. I don't know if that one. I think he went somewhere else to jump,
he
in that
jumped the
video
car?
with all the snowboarders and stuff.
Oh, that was at that Bald-Faced Lodge place,
Okay.
I think. Yeah. But he had a ski lift or a tow
He
rope
did,
or
yeah.
some shit in his backyard.
Yeah.
It was pretty cheap.
He had a mini little snow park.
Yeah. There's a guy I know, we're going there this fall, in upstate New York, in Wilzig, and he built a racetrack.
No way.
In his yard, a legit road course with elevation and curbing, and he fought his neighbors forever. Zach,
Yeah.
Google Wilzig Manor. It is ridiculous.
There's a guy out here on the West Coast, Dave, Texas Dave knows him,
Who has a
And
racetrack?
He's building a tarmac racetrack, and he has dirt. We've ran Sierra cars out there before.
Wait. Oh, is it? This is his. That's his main building. Is there his
New York, you say?
Can you just like Google images? Yeah, rather than the website. Yeah, it's upstate New York. It's pretty
what?
sick. Yeah, Wilzig Racing Manor. Pretty legit road course. Like,
Oh my God.
and he runs like it's obviously not. It's probably I think it's a 1.3 or 1.4 miles. It's not big enough for like real fast cars.
Yeah.
But he races like those like not they're like the 125cc 2-stroke motorcycles.
Okay.
Super motard
And
stuff.
like smaller cars like Lotus Exiges
Great
and
for
stuff
that. Good
like
drift
that.
track.
Yeah. This guy is he's cool. He's fucking nuts.
That's awesome.
He's great.
I would do
Yeah.
that if I could.
We're going there for Road and Track Hudson Quattrocento. It's not open to the
That's so
public,
rad.
Yeah.
but I'm editor at large Road and Track, and we do these events. Mm-hmm. The one we're doing in the Hudson in the fall, we have a track day there. We booked it. We had to make a massive donation to his charity to get on it and hire the fire crew and all that shit. But they were like, what can we do that's like out of the box that regular folks can't do?
Yeah.
And I was like, we can rent this lunatic's private racetrack probably.
You should hook him up with Cole at Life Motorsport. Get
Who's
some
that?
of those Sierra cars. Because he has the electric ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be all quiet.
When I went to drive I couldn't fit in yours, the bigger one, not Sierra cars, cross carts.
Okay.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I drove the 750 and the 1400.
Yeah.
Man, those things are the best.
They are the best.
Have you driven a Sierra also?
Yeah.
Are they awesome? They're the best also.
It's the
right?
best of the best just because it's a dev box. It's like seriously just dialed.
But they're still using motorcycle engines.
No, now
What
they're
are they
using
using
the
now?
Honda
Like a
four-cylinder.
K-Series?
Yeah,
a car
K-
engine?
yes, they're using the
Whoa,
K-Series.
shit,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Oh, that's next
That's
level.
and he's making a 3-seater.
Driver up
So,
front, two in
driver
the
up
back?
front, 2 in the back. Wow. Yeah.
That's fucking sick. They're actually using the K-Series engine. Like,
Yup.
Boy. I think did they build an electric one for one of the block Leah?
For Lucy.
For
Yeah,
Lucy?
Lucy right
to go
there.
to go run up Pikes Peak.
Yeah, she's going to run that. I saw Cole out at Utah Motorsports Campus, whatever they call it now.
Yeah, what used to be Miller?
Yeah, it used to be
Yeah.
Miller. He's out there testing it now, actually. It's so weird. You just hear tire squeal and gearbox.
Yeah, we watched some of that Rallycross with the electric cars.
Yeah.
And the engine, it's just like tire on dirt, it's make this weird kind of crunchy sound.
Yeah, like grip, kind
Yeah.
of. Like when it starts to grip up, it just has that like, sounds like a tire rolling over kind of sound.
Have you ever gotten to test one of those cars?
No, but I heard they're insanely fast.
That's what everyone says, but it's without the sound. As a spectator, it's tough to get that vibe, you know?
But as a driver out here, it's next level.
It looked insane. I mean, the racing was. I've seen a Formula E race, and it was pretty dull because, like you said, you just hear tire approaching, and then and it would go in the distance. But like with Rallycross, you see sliding jumps.
Yeah.
The passes are way more aggressive because there's just fewer
It's
rules.
just the
it seems like.
anti-lat. You miss the anti-lat.
Yeah.
You
the
do. You miss some of
turbos
that
and-
fury kind of going
Yeah,
on.
do.
motorsports without Nash
Yeah.
it's lacking.
But there's
It
a
is.
lot of body panels being ripped off, so you can hear the crunching still.
Who was it that their hood popped up and they drove 2 or 3 laps with
It was
the hood
incredible.
up and they got second? Like
I
they-
mean,
it was
some of the driving we saw was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Homie's hood flew up,
Yeah.
blocked the whole windshield. I don't know where he was looking, but he was able to continue at some kind of pace and finish second in the race. It was
Wonder who
insane.
that was. Wonder if that was Fraser.
I don't know. I don't remember, but it was a fucking good time.
Damn, you killed
And by the
that.
way, I murdered. Yeah, Zack murdered his too.
Damn,
but-
you're talking too much.
We're asking questions.
No, this
You're
is
the guest.
dude. That was so delicious. Yellowtail, thank you so much.
We have another pack.
I gotta try one of those Sierra cars. I think they have a school at Monticello.
They do.
They do,
run
right?
there.
Yeah.
And they drive them in the winter
But
sometimes.
those aren't Sierra cars. Those are
They're
the
not?
cross carts. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they
Are
were running
they?
Sierras for a
yeah,
while.
they're different.
Okay, we'll have to call them and get in it. But the one with the car engine, that's the one. That's the one we need to do. We just had our first experience with like real fast side-by-sides, like the Razors, and they were a good time as well. I really enjoyed them. You can really maintain some pace on some trails. Although you should drive responsibly, as everyone wants to remind me that shitbags going too fast on trails is ruining it for everybody, allegedly.
Well, that was a closed course, though, wasn't it?
It was when we were doing the thing. We were there for a Polaris event.
Yeah.
But apparently, people treat open trails as closed courses quite frequently.
Right.
Well, I mean, I thought some of the comments were interesting because it gave us insight we don't have, because they're like, we've been doing this for 10 years. They weren't shitting on us. They were saying, like, these have given a lot of people access to speed that didn't have it before, and they're just being reckless with them because there's no licensing program.
Yeah.
There's not a lot
it's
of, like,
what the Hellcat did to highways.
Yeah, kind of.
It's like the crossing the mustard in the canyons, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
so
the
people
same
are just
kind of
getting a little aggressive, or if it's a two-way trail and they don't have, long visibility, they're going fast and hitting people head on ATVs and things. So it just seems like there needs to be more rules or instruction or etiquette. I don't know. It's hard because they're just, selling to people. It's not the Polaris' fault necessarily. It's like trail management and licensing program or something.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of fucking speed for like a 14-year-old to have.
Well, I think I said in the video, and maybe it was like not the right thing to say, that, there's no speed limits out there. Like the limit is set by like the natural, the terrain and by nature and whatever.
Oh, you done fucked up.
Yeah, right. I mean, I didn't mean anything by it, and I wasn't technically wrong. There aren't speed limits out there, but I wasn't necessarily trying to intentionally like encourage people to drive like shitbags.
Yeah,
I applied my own common sense to everybody else, which was a grave mistake, apparently. like, I don't cross double yellow lines because I might kill somebody, not because it's the law. You know what I mean? Like, do you get out in the canyons much?
I do when my car's running good.
Yeah.
It was like my buddy I go fishing with, Ron. We used to go to Cars and Coffee, the Rancho one.
That's a great Cars and
great
Coffee.
one, isn't it?
Really good. Love it.
We used to go there, and then we get a crew, and then we go out to Palomar because
it's kind of by there, right?
I live 5 minutes from Palomar Mountain.
Great road, man.
But it's about 30 minutes or so from Rancho. Mm-hmm. But we used to go out there, and he used to drive his he had a 07 430.
Oh yeah.
And I used to rip on him. I used to be like, dude, your car's like a hot chick that sucks in bed. He just got so mad. He went and got I was like, man, if I was you, I'd go get a GT3.
Yeah.
And he did. He went and got a GT3. And
a stick shift 430 is a nice thing.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not going to set any lap records, but it is a very nice, enjoyable thing to drive.
Yeah.
GT3s are pretty fucking good as well.
Yeah. He later got rid of the GT3 too. I think he was mad at me for making him get rid of his 430.
Did he go back? Did he go back to Ferrari?
No. He has like a Raptor
sold the
now.
GT3 and he got 14 Subaru RSs.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, dude, you're in the wrong car. Look at my car. It's like $18K tops.
What is your unlimited budget card, or is it just an even better Subaru?
No, I'm kind of. I mean, unlimited. I think I would probably get like I've always been Koenigsegg. I've always loved the Koenigsegg.
Yeah. They're wild.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I would ever have a supercar.
No,
I'm not really that kind of guy.
That's okay.
I used to be. I used to be somewhat. I think, in general, if I were to buy like a nice car and just keep it stock, I'd GT3 RS or GT2 RS.
Yeah.
Were you into cars in your 20s, or did it come about when you got into racing, just because you wanted something else to do and you saw some of your
No,
friends
I got
doing
into.
it?
My first car was a Honda Civic Si. And, I modded it and did all kinds of stuff to it. And then I got a Volkswagen Corrado.
Oh, yeah.
Did a swap to it. Did a VR6 swap to it.
Do you swap out a G60 and put in a VR6?
Yeah.
Wow. In period. Good for you.
Back then.
Yeah.
And then from there, got rid of that one. Brought to California, got rid of it. Got an M3 4-door. And then E36, and then got rid of that one for E46. But I got the SMG.
SMG,
SMG.
In hindsight,
make
not the
mistakes.
right
No,
choice.
it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't really work out. I wasn't really happy with it. I supercharged it, blew the motor,
Some
replaced
people
the
thought
motor.
rollerblading was going to work out, so everyone, makes it.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. My wife was like, I was kind of like doing it for my wife, kind of like, she drove it for like a month. And then once I started doing stuff to it, it was too nice for her to drive. And then I'm stuck with the SMG.
Yeah. I got this for you. I got this supercharger for you too.
Yeah. Well, once she wasn't driving it, of course I'm going to do something to it. But yeah, I wasn't happy. And then I got rid of that and got a 996 twin turbo.
Oh yeah, I remember you had that car. Yeah, because that's where you met Betim, right? Because you were doing shit with him.
Yeah,
with that car. Yeah,
then I
Was
did
it rear-wheel drive?
I did the GT2 conversion.
Yeah, I remember
and
that car.
Did the kit. Yeah, that thing ripped.
That was a good car.
That was when I would put 4 slicks on the roof rack and go out to like Chuckwalla.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a fucking hardcore move. On the roof too.
On the
Not even
roof.
one of those mini trailers.
Nope,
like
on the roof.
Straight
That's
roof
badass.
rack.
I had it on the roof.
Yeah, there's that car.
Did you see the picture of the
Wow,
tires
look
on
at-
the roof?
Let me see if I can find one.
I don't know if you'll be able to find it. I think I
I don't know if
posted
I've
it
ever
on my
seen a picture of a
Instagram.
tire on the roof, but that's awesome.
So I had to put 1 tire inside the car because I couldn't fit 4 on the roof. So I fit 3 on the roof.
Did you
one
take
inside.
the rack off on the track, or did
Yes.
you ran with the rack?
I jacked the car. I had jack inside the car, jack stand. I would jack the car up, take it off, take all the wheels off of it, take the roof rack off, put the slicks on it, and that car was fast.
Yeah, those cars were crazy fast, especially once Betim starts fucking with them.
Yeah, stock intercooler. I mean, aftermarket intercoolers, but I replaced the. Yeah, I kept stock turbo.
Oh, look at
I
this.
can't find tires on the. Oh, you got them?
Can I
Yeah,
fast
but-
forward it to you?
No, but here's I'm just gonna do this. Zach, go to camera 5.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah, just.
It's you can see it's exactly what you expect.
That's
It's
badass.
fucking got a bunch of slicks on the
That
roof.
is commitment.
Yeah.
That's rad. No, people, you don't need a toy hauler all the time. You just-
But it's funny that you've
Commitment.
gone, you went through, M3 and then into sort of a semi-exotic car, and now you're at Subaru. A lot of people would go the other way. They would consider they'd work their way what you traditionally upward.
Yeah, well, you were there when I was training at Dirtfish, actually.
Yeah.
So the idea was I was racing Porsches at the time with Jim Johnson. I was racing Sebring, I was racing Homestead, and I was about to start racing Grand Am at the time in Porsches.
Yeah.
Cup car. Then I get the call from my agent at the time, who was the same agent as Mira, Travis, Block, all those guys. When Travis went to trucks, that opened up a seat at Subaru. And meanwhile, up until this point, I've been to like Tim O'Neill's once.
Yeah.
Loose surface, like, yeah, it's fun, like, never did it. My agent was like, you want to go test for this seat at Subaru? I was like, yeah, but this is exactly what I didn't want to get into. I want to be I want to be ready to race. Like, I want to be like on the podium my first race because I prepped.
Yeah.
I don't really have that much experience loose surface. Then I go out to Dirtfish and I go training, and here comes Matt Farah, and he wants to challenge me to a race.
Well, yeah.
And I'm like, I've been here for like
really
a day.
good at one thing, and I can beat him at this other totally
And
unrelated thing.
he almost got me, actually. I think
Yeah.
it was pretty close.
Yeah, we did have a close race. We did have a very close race.
And then before you know it,
And
he
then
was, was leaving Dirtfish with no shoes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the stakes of the race where the loser had to huck their shoes over the wire of shame.
bet.
And I had it was actually they were the Ken Block
Yeah, they
racing
were.
shoes.
They were.
The Ken Block shoes, the DC racing, and I fucking had to leave them up there. I lost my shoes. Yeah, it was not great, but it was close. It was a close race. And then you were fucking on like the podium at X Games, right after that.
Right, but it was a lot of
So,
learning. Thanks to
yeah.
Forrest Duplessis. A shout out to him.
Forrest and
he's
Chris
a great
are
coach.
legit.
Yeah, great coach.
Los Brothers Duplessis, they are excellent. Did you? I mean, obviously you practiced and everything, but you took to it pretty quick.
I did. I think mainly because I had the grip factor.
Yeah.
And then all I had to do is apply the all-wheel drive, initiate early, get the car pointed, throttle down, and carry momentum. So it was relatively the same. Just you have to do things at different times. Like in racing, turn in smooth, exit with power. In rally, it's more like aggressive on the turn in, get to the apex and power out.
Yeah.
So it's close to the same but different. But I was able to kind of get that, and that's when I was racing you, I was just learning that. So like
I was too. That was my first rally school also.
Yeah. So Farah was like, you can go way faster, get the car pointed earlier, and I was like, all right. And because I had to beat you, I was like going right after.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I apply pressure.
Yeah, he applied the pressure.
To inspire champions.
Yeah.
Did you ever do stage rally, or was it always the stadium stuff?
I did stage rally towards the end of my Subaru drive.
Yeah.
But now that's pretty much all I do. Well, up until now is stage rallies, and I only do a couple a year.
Do you prefer stage or cross?
Personally, I prefer Rallycross, like racing. I like wheel to wheel.
Wheel to wheel.
I like wheel to wheel racing.
Yeah.
But with that being said, with how Rallycross is, it's just like desperado move, smash them up. If they can get into the final, then that's what it takes. And to me, that's not racing. You know, to me, that's like you went out on a limb and you smashed someone else up to benefit off of it. And to me, that's like, I'd rather pass someone clean and go have a drink and celebrate it with them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
not
you see
like
some
crash
dive
out.
bombs where people use the outside car to keep them from going off the
100%,
track,
yeah.
basically.
At
And
that
it's allowed,
Rallycross, we saw some people get really rewarded for doing some pretty shitty things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no lifting, no room.
Yeah.
Just come out of a joker and just bam.
Yeah. How did you get used to hearing pace notes?
It's funny. That's a funny story. I learned how to take pace notes from Dave, Texas Dave.
Oh, Rally Ready.
Yeah, Rally Ready. We went to like a national park, and we were on tarmac. We were just looking at the roads, just getting distances and, you know, what degree. Is it a 3? Is it a 6? You know, the lower the number, the tighter the turn. Some people flip it around, you know, whatever. But, and then also the, you know, a left or a right, so L or R.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I learned the basics. Like I didn't even know distances. I just knew like left 3 into a right 4.
Mm-hmm.
Where now it's like you get more detailed info now. It's like left 3 minus means it shortens on the exit. Where
and did you do distances in metric, or did you do them in miles, or what?
Yards.
Yards?
Like, yeah.
You in yards?
Yeah.
Okay. Pace notes are hard for me. I can't go more than one step ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like a 2-step, depending on what you're linking together and what's ahead of you and how far it is, and if there's a crest, like a hill that you can't see over. That stuff kind of comes natural once you do it more than like once or twice. Like, because up until like not too long ago, I was kind of the same, but like if you were too far ahead of me, I would just be like, repeat.
Yeah, that's actually, to me, that's the hardest part, because once you get car control and you can I'm not a fucking racing champion by any means, but one thing I can do that comes from talking while driving is separate my brain from my hands and feet and eyes. Like hands, feet, and eyes can do one thing. Brain can be talking about the trunk room of fucking some car while I'm going pretty quick, which is its own sort of skill. But I can only do it out. I can't do it in.
When you were skating vert, would you plan? You'd plan your whole, what'd you call it? Run.
Yeah.
And so like you're mid one trick and you know what you're doing next. Did that skill apply itself to pace notes at all? Or was that, like Matt said, more one directional?
The one thing skating kind of relates to racing is turns. Say each turn to a racetrack would be the equivalent of one trick in a run. So to get that one trick good and land it good so that you can do the next wall trick and move on and land that right, going in the right direction, depending on where you are on the ramp. If you got to go left or right after you land it, landing high with speed. Same thing for racing. You got to hit your marks. Eyes got to be moving up, forward, wherever you're looking.
Yeah.
And you have to initiate, whether it's brake, downshift, whatever. Like you have to be ready as well. So that all kind of relates.
Did you ever think about going back to grip racing?
think the last time I drove, I went to Coda for the first time and drove Coda in a Cobb STI.
Oh, cool.
Definitely underpowered car, but I was there just to test the flex fuel.
Yeah.
And I did really good. I did for that car. I mean, I was down on aero, I was down on power, and I was still beating cars twice the car.
Yeah, but you said you were about to try and do like Grand Am.
Yeah.
But before going to rally, would you try to go back and do a few races in a cup car and something like that?
I absolutely would. I would love to do Daytona 500. I would do one-off races for sure. If the opportunity came, I would definitely do it.
Yeah. The guys who are good on loose surface, when they go back to grip driving, their skills seem to be elevated.
Rain, especially.
Rain, yeah. But even, I mean, Travis is like a fucking freak of nature. But, you put him in a NASCAR, he's pretty solid.
No, you proved that, yeah.
He's not bad.
Right?
No, he's not bad.
Yeah. And a lot of those guys go and race road courses, and they're really good.
Yeah.
The skills, they seem to be compounded. They're not detracted
I
from.
think once you get it, you get it. You know what I mean? You understand what you can and can't do.
Well, and if you're comfortable driving over the limit at
car
very
control.
high speed, then, keeping it within the limit, it becomes easier, not harder.
I almost feel like driving like a circuit or like a oval race would be so hard for Travis just because it would be boring almost, But like he's up for the challenge apparently.
You ever try it? You ever try like NASCAR stuff?
Couple times. I did like a truck test at Irwindale years ago. I just did that Freedom 500 race.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
Was it awesome?
It was amazing. I had both my cars broke, so I was down laps, but I raced back up to fourth.
Oh, cool. Yeah. It seems like such a good time.
I want to do it again, and I just want a car that survives like the whole race.
It's kind of a crapshoot when you're talking about Crown Vics.
I had two throttle bodies. Both my cars had throttle bodies die.
Oh, wow. So first car broke, they gave you another car?
First car broke. I pulled in. I think it broke within 5 laps.
Okay.
So I pulled in. They put me in another car. That car made it. I think that car already had a broken throttle body. So I literally did like a lap and a half, had to pull back in. The car stalled. And then I took everything off. I had my helmet off. I had everything off. I was talking to the crowd, saying what's up. And then they're like, hey, we fixed your car. I was like, okay, I'll go back out. Like, I'm not going to.
Was the driving in that race, like, would you consider it like a high caliber of driving?
Of survival. Of survival, yeah. I mean, some of the guys would just drive into you instead of like, okay, I drove in too hard and started to spin you. They would just keep driving into you. I was like, dude.
They're made for Rallycross then. They're they're ready for that.
That's one of those things I'd like to do. It seems pretty intense.
Cletus
puts
great.
On a good show down there.
It's great. It absolutely was so much fun. And even with those guys that just drove in, and you know who surprised me? Vaughn.
He's a fantastic driver, but in what way did he surprise you?
In every way. The fact that he's a fantastic driver, and also the fact that he just drove into me and rotated me almost backwards.
Well, he doesn't sell paint.
He did not care. He did not care. And afterwards, you know what he said after the race? I go, dude, you just sent me in the biggest drift of my life. Like, go figure. And he's like, that was you? I was like, does it matter?
Like, you know who anyone is in that race.
Right.
Like, it's not like you're studying their cars.
Well, you actually do know, because if you're in the car you started with, it's all your livery. Like, you kind of know who's in what car.
Well,
I had a different car. I was in like a green, like fluorescent green car. It was a beater. It didn't even have like new tires. It didn't have no nitrous. So I just had to stay in it. I had to stay in it and just not make any mistakes. And then
were you fully flat around the whole track?
No, I had to lift. Okay. I had to lift on turn in, but I could only drive the bottom. The car completely sucked up top. So if I was up top, I would lose 2 spots. So I just have to fight and stay down the bottom and then pick off.
Is that a grip issue at the top? Like, is it the traction's different?
It was probably alignment probably in my car that I had, or spent rear right.
Right.
Dude, their budget for Crown Vics is impressive, though. They are going through them things.
Yeah. Dude, they need to fix that throttle body issue because they would be really fun actually.
What is the issue? Like what is wrong with the throttle body in those cars?
I never had a problem with mine, but I didn't drive it in a race for 24 fucking hours.
Did you see when he just let it run completely like?
Oh yeah,
the Crown Vic
for
like 24 hours or something.
He put it on blocks
and ran it at full throttle.
Yeah,
for a while.
Oh, and it survived
for a while.
But then didn't it?
It melted or something.
Yeah, it caught on fire. I forget why it caught on fire, but I saw the Instagram post.
Probably throttle body.
Definitely a throttle. If you leave a comment if you know what the Crown Vic throttle body issue is, it's not electric, right? It's a cable, isn't it? It's a fucking cable. Can't be
some
drive
kind
by
of sensor
wire.
inside of it
solenoid
that
in there, I think.
must just some plastic melts or something in it.
It's clearly not designed for this purpose.
I tried to buy a bigger one for our eBay show.
Yeah,
I was off of like a F-150, but they looked at it like this won't fit, and I went, man, the internet lied to me.
Imagine that.
Have you seen the one out at Rally Ready, the lifted?
Oh
gold
yeah,
thing?
Ricky.
Yeah,
Ricky Lake.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Delivered it.
Yeah.
That was
Zach
Zack built that for a project car challenge that we did. And the E46 wagon, is that still down there?
No.
Did it survive?
E46. No, wait. I think it might.
There's
still
an
be there.
E46 wagon rally car that I built for that challenge with Zack. And he built the fucking Donk Crown Vic, and I built the wagon, and the wagon was better. But it was faster. But that fucking Crown Vic was hilarious.
No, that thing's fun. I drove it for a while. It's sitting in the graveyard now.
Oh, it is.
It probably just needs like a wheel bearing or something, but
Okay.
It had a life.
The fact it lived through what we did, then what they did at Rally Ready for a year is amazing. And like it got driven to shit. It got driven
Dave
really
would
hard.
give like joy. If you came to the ranch, the first thing Dave would be like, get in.
Get in the Crown Vic.
Get in the Crown Vic and just send it. And he's man, you could put that guy in anything.
He's a great driver.
He is a magician.
Yeah.
Like, a loose surface, he's probably one of the fastest drivers I know.
Yeah, he's a very, very good driver. And and shout out to Rally Ready for rescuing dogs too.
Yep.
Also that. But they kept the BMW they kept because it had like it was like a $3,000 car that had like $4,000 suspension on it.
Holy
it had
man.
like who made that? What was the suspension? I forget what it was, but the shocks were literally gold.
I remember you found them, but it was a rally, like a proper rally.
It was a
company made
proper
them.
rally suspension,
Yeah.
and they were like they wanted to keep it so that if someone came to the school that couldn't drive stick because it was an auto was the car, and so they would have so it was like fucking set up. That car was sick on loose surface. It was
Did
so
you
great.
get the suspension or it came with
No,
that?
I put it on.
Okay.
I put it on.
Yeah,
It
so
was
we
great.
bought stock cars and then modified them to like do a bunch of silly
Oh,
challenge
okay.
things.
Yeah.
And so the lift kit I bought was $400, and it was like a donk lift kit, and then he
Just
bought
blocks?
$4,000 suspension.
Big,
Yeah,
Body-
big fucking spacers, basically. yeah.
Really
and then
tall,
I
such
bought
stiff
like
frame. Yeah.
fucking bypass shocks
Yeah.
that were like off a trophy truck or something. It was rad.
it was very good.
E46 and that terrible E46,
Yeah.
the greatness of that car is why I bought the E46 that's down there. I was like, well, if this is the worst one, imagine
Yeah.
the best one. I should have just kept the fucking shit
Worst
box.
one, yeah.
I should have kept the shit box I
Yeah.
had. That would have been
Dude, that thing's beautiful though. I mean,
Yep, you want to buy it?
no. I've been there, done that.
Yeah, someone will
Is it SMG? No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I know it's not. I mean, I would buy it, but
There's a decent business in converting those now.
my buddy Alfonso Rawls has one he wants to convert.
Yeah.
If you know,
We know a guy.
know a guy that
we know
does
the
that?
guy who can do it. Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
what's the roundabout number
It's
for
like
that?
$3,000 to
That's
convert an
it?
SMG to manual.
Yeah.
Something
It's
like
not
that. I won't
expensive.
hold you to it.
Because the transmission is the same.
Okay.
You just take out the robot shit and put in a pedal box with 3 pedals.
I'm going to get that information
Yeah,
from you.
it's not
not
that
crazy.
bad. It's not that bad. And our friend Corbin is developing a kit to turn the M5 SMG into a manual, which is it's a completely different gearbox. So they have to develop a whole fucking
Holy,
thing.
I didn't know there.
Damn.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah. It's. I was like, oh, you just do the same shit you do in the E46, right? And they're like, nah, no.
Bit off
We
a
have
little
to
too much.
make a thing.
Oh,
and I was
God.
like, is there any money in that? And they're like, nope.
How can they do it then?
Because
just principle?
Corbin is out of their mind.
Oh.
Just
like in the best way, like, engineer brain and just wants to make weird things run well.
Yeah.
He'll sell like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because the V10 engine is fantastic and everything else about that car could use a little updating.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything, the gearbox, basically.
Dude, I was at Avis
And
today.
all the plastic.
Yeah.
This guy has an E39 M5.
Shout out to Avis Autosport in Glendale. They work on our BMW.
Yeah. This guy had a 200,000 mile E39 M5 that he just had the engine rebuilt. First owner, loves it.
Yeah.
Full rebuild, not cheap. And he's just keeping it forever.
25K?
Shout out to that dude, huh?
How much for the rebuild? 25?
Yeah.
Is it?
Something
25?
like that,
Yeah.
Dude, my buddy Alfonso just had to rebuild, what is it, the crank? What goes bad in the E46s? The bottom end?
Everything.
Bearings, all that stuff.
Bearings, yeah.
Bearings, rebuilt the bearings. Subframe, all cracked. The rear subframe, all cracked.
Yeah.
He had to
That's a
get that
design
welded.
feature.
Yeah.
And
comfort.
he had to repaint it. He repainted it. He has nice HRE wheels. But yeah, he
Shout out to HRE.
the SMG is killing him. So
All that and still
swap it.
SMG.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
Change
living with it.
At that point, change it to a
he's
Yeah,
going to be
change
so
it.
stoked.
Yeah.
He's going to
Yeah.
be so stoked.
Yeah,
It is a very
folks
known
who do
thing.
it.
Like, there's a list of parts. It's a lot of parts, but it's all these little things, and people do it all the time.
Yeah.
This is not a new adventure. People traveling.
Well, he was looking at me to help get it done. I was like, I'm not there. Like that's
There's
not.
known specialists who will do it, and it's a totally known thing.
Is it
totally
local?
doable.
Is he local-ish?
Yeah, L.A.
Oh.
Who people do it?
People who can do it,
A lot
yeah.
of people can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avis could do it for sure. They're in Pasadena.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be someone. If your buddy's down further SoCal,
Mark Norris
there might
could
be-
do it up
Mark
in
Norris
the
could totally do
valley.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely somebody in Orange County or someone who could do it.
Oh,
down
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
100%.
The dudes
100%.
that built the Subaru's race car. Maybe. Do they do that? Or they just build
they
race
build
cars?
spec E46 race cars, but they could probably do it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Some of the race
yeah.
shops, like the people that might do my bearings, they do mostly race car stuff. But
Yeah.
they need to do normal things on the side.
Yeah.
So.
It's only money.
Yeah.
Zach, do we have anything on Le Patreon?
I think we do.
If you want to ask questions of our guests, watch the live streams, get our shows before everybody else, and have an ad-free experience, patreon.com/The Smoking Tire Podcast. You get no fish, though.
No
the
fish.
fish is only for in studio.
5th tier.
You can get fish if you book a
A charter?
book a charter with my buddy Ron at Marisol. Marisol Sport Fishing.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking go charter fishing with Ron. You
I
come back
might-
with fish like this?
I might be your deckhand.
Dude,
I'll
that would be
fucking
a
cut
good charity a charity auction thing.
Let's do it.
Sport fishing with the Smoking Tire and Bucky. We'll
Yep.
do it as a charity auction. That'd be fun as hell.
That'd be really
actually.
cool.
Easy done.
My friend is a fishing guide down in Florida, and when he comes out to visit, he was like, "I want to go fishing with you out here, so maybe we'll go. We'll come down
I got
and do
the
that."
person
All right,
for you.
perfect. Jason says, "Can Bucky share a particularly special moment or experience that he's been fortunate enough to be a part of since being involved professionally in motorsports? Not necessarily a race, but something that holds a special memory for him for one reason or another, and not including taking my shoes."
Just recently, actually, Lance Smith from Vermont Sports Car gifted me my GR hatchback race car.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
That is awesome.
That I probably would say is probably one of the top 2 moments of my life.
Was it to commemorate something, or was it just I
It
thought you would
was
like
just
this?
sitting in the museum, just kind of sitting there, and he was like, "You know what? There's no one that I could think of that I would rather see have this car and
That's
do
awesome.
something with it
Yeah.
than you." And he freaking gave it to me, and then like it basically was like, "I can't give it to you like this. Let's put the new billet aluminum 2.3 block in it and make it bulletproof."
Sick.
So
Do
now
you have it yet?
I just went and tested it. I can show you video.
Awesome. That's rad. Yeah, that counts.
Yeah, so I would say that one.
That checks off of Jason's requirements. That's excellent. That's really cool. What are you gonna do with it?
I just posted my first video on my YouTube channel, Bucky, of me going and putting it all back together with the team. And then the next video coming soon is going to be me testing it, shaking it down. And then the goal for the next few months is it's going to all the Subi events around, the first one's in Connecticut, Wicked Big Meet. And then from there, it's going to Big Northwest and then
Tell
California.
me you're from Boston without. That's awesome.
So there's like 7 Subaru events that it's going to, doing demos with it. And then at the end of the year, game plan is to do Gymkhana grid with it.
That's going to be a good thing. Scotto, he's on to something.
Yeah.
I'd love to fucking do that. I need to borrow somebody's car.
You can rent one of Vermont Sports Cars.
Oh, really?
Rallycross cars.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That, or can I do it in a Sierra? Maybe. Will they let you do it in a Sierra?
You can do whatever you want.
There's no rules, right?
No.
I don't think that's not like a real thing.
I think it's going to be an all-wheel drive class and a two-wheel drive class.
Awesome.
So
I should try and do it in a Sierra. That would be what's up. That's fucking cool as hell, though. You get your race car back.
Yeah.
Is it, being that it's a rally car, is it street legal?
No.
Okay.
No, technically it's a Rallycross car.
Oh, okay, right. Still, that rules. Brandon said, Bucky, what's your proudest moment on a skateboard and proudest moment in a car?
Proudest moment on a skateboard would probably be my first X Games win in '99. And proudest moment in the car would probably be my second place at X Games in a car.
X Games medals they're good.
It's not just that it's the medal, it's just the fact that it was in the same kind of environment, you know, like kind of bringing it home.
Have you won X Games in a car and on a skateboard the same year?
No.
Okay.
No, I did really shitty in skateboarding that year, I think.
Vernon says, do you still listen to the Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack after all these years?
Bits and pieces of it. I mean, I won't listen to the whole soundtrack, but
I saw an Instagram clip of Tony getting up on stage and singing Superman with Goldfinger, which is pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome. He's been singing a lot lately.
Really?
Yeah.
That's his next career?
I think since he did that, what was that show he did with the mask? It was the
Masked Singer?
He did that, and then ever since doing that, I think he took some singing lessons at the time, and now he just thinks he's freaking...
Mariah Carey.
He thinks he's Mariah Carey.
I mean, granted, the clip I watched was from a cell phone, but he did all right.
He kills it.
Not that Superman is like, high octave range or anything, but it's pretty good.
He just recently did a Trent Reznor collab.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
You fucking do. He's a great follow on Twitter as well.
Trent actually does a cameo in the video too, so it's pretty good.
That's awesome. That soundtrack, there was a lot of bangers on that on the original Pro Skater soundtrack.
Absolutely.
There was fucking bangers on that. And Goldfinger is amazing live. I've seen them live 4 or 5 times and they rule. 28-3 Never Forget says, who would win in a bare knuckle fist fight, you or Travis Pastrana? I don't know. Let's see either of you guys as fighters.
I think we'd probably both knock each other out first punch.
What are Travis those simultaneous?
Yeah, I bet you Travis is easy to punch and knock out.
Yeah, I feel like he's like a Jenga tower that's really close to falling down because he's had so many injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect, Travis, but he just seems like he's hurt himself a lot.
But he has a good reach. Like
he
definitely
has
has
no actual bones left. I think his whole skeleton is metal.
But a high pain tolerance. I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dude, he does not feel pain. No fucking way.
When he base jumped in that last Gymkhana,
oh my God,
and they was making jokes about it on the ground, and he's like, I think we have some internal issues or something like that.
He diagnoses himself too.
Yeah, it's wild.
I'm gonna need 10 cc's of norepinephrine immediately.
If the nurses knew, he's like, here's how this works. Yeah.
I have a fracture in my right hip.
Brettster says, you've built some incredible Subarus. Is there any non-Subaru car you want to build? We kind of covered this, but not including the build portion of it.
No, I attempted to get another Corrado and build one on my channel. And then like once I got it, I kind of remembered why I got rid of one. So
Corrados are most disappointing cars.
It was such a pain in the ass to change the clutch on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The experience of driving a Corrado doesn't justify, because you drive it, it's a fucking Golf. Like it doesn't drive different from a GTI or anything else.
No,
they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
You said you can make them look cool, but they're not special to drive.
I'll show you a picture.
You might as well just have a fucking GTI and call it a day. I know why people collect them. They are collectible, but they're a bitch.
They're so cool looking.
Man, they suck to work on.
It's a GTI and like a really good outfit.
It's a tiny engine bay for the VR6 engine, right?
It's not mechanically friendly.
Yeah. While you're looking for that, James Kelly said, what pro skater has the best car collection?
There's not many pro skaters that have a car collection, to be honest.
Is it not something that overlaps? Well, this looks great. It's a good-looking Corrado. That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Zach, go to camera 5. That's
Hang
a
on.
nice-looking Corado. Got a good stance to it, for sure.
I don't know who has a great car collection. Maybe Josh Callis.
Oh, yeah. Josh is
Has-
great.
has
His Camaro.
Yeah,
He has
got
a
cool
Camaro
cars.
and he has a
I think He sold the
Lamborghini?
Camaro,
He did?
I think, to buy that twin-turbo Lambo.
Okay.
Yeah, I drove his Camaro. I did like 150 miles an hour in
Yeah,
his
I think
Camaro.
it's
Remember?
badass.
It had like a Nelson motor in it. The
Yeah.
thing went like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
It was easy to
Stable.
drive.
Yeah.
It was nice. Shout out to Josh Kalis.
Yeah.
He had some cool stuff. I don't know if it's a collection or just like one nice car at a time. I forget. But yeah, that counts.
Yeah. Other than that, I would say Ken Block.
Yeah.
As far as like, I mean,
Ken
not
tried
really
to
a
be
skater,
a car
though.
collector.
He
It
wasn't
didn't
really a skater, though,
No,
right?
but in the family.
yeah.
He tried to be a car collector. It didn't really work.
He has some cool ones though.
Well, yeah, because he didn't see.
They're all Fords though. I mean, it was
Right,
kind of like
but he
a
had the
sponsorship.
RS200 and
Yeah.
he had the Cosworths and shit. But he didn't really care that much about the car other than being like a literal vehicle for like doing crazy shit.
Yeah, true.
And when the car was $500,000, like that RS200,
Yeah.
he was like, "Well, I can't. What am I going to do with this?" And then he
Right.
had to get rid of it.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Ken. We love you.
Love you.
James Calley says, has the indoor combi been demolished yet, and who's getting the coping blocks?
It's still there. I'm trying to line up sessions before it gets taken down. Talked to Steve Van Dorn about it, and he's game to open it up for. Right now, only riders can ride it because of some insurance stuff. So I'm like, let's do it. Like, let's get like Wednesday night sessions going or something, and just have a filmer there, and then we could do a video.
Lean into that.
when it gets
Make use
destroyed.
of your insurance policy.
Yeah, let's do it. But the problem is I've been traveling so much, and when I'm not traveling, I seem to be slamming. So, yeah, I'll have to get back on that.
Ivan says, tips on braking, accelerating, and turning for regular drivers for better car control. Well, when you're a beginner, you know, it's the 100 points thing, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of input for you. My first thing would be like go to Rally Ready.
Yeah.
It's something, if you want to prep better for when you go to a school like Rally Ready, just start using your left foot braking and get it sensitive. It's going to be really, at first you're going to put your head through the windshield. So learn how to gauge the sensitivity in your left foot and brake with it. That will help.
Do the cars at Rally Ready have the power booster taken out of the Subarus?
You got to put your body weight into it. So
Okay.
it's going to be a big drastic change. But if you're able to modulate a street car with your left foot,
Yeah.
then hammering the brake is going to be that much easier.
Yeah, usually the rally schools take the power booster out of the brakes of the rally car because people usually hit the left pedal so hard that you'd fucking be smashing your head into windshields.
Yeah.
It'd be ridiculous. And then what happens is after you get back from rally school, you try it in your own car,
Yeah.
and you're hitting the pedal way too hard.
Yeah.
So that's great tips. Left foot braking.
Yeah, just use it.
Yeah. You know, in the beginning, you want to do things kind of one at a time. You know, brake in a straight line, turn in as you're coming off the brake, and then add power as you're straightening the wheel back out of a corner. Once you get better and better, you can overlap those things a little bit. What's the book? Speed Secrets. Ross Bentley.
Ross
Speed
Bentley, yeah.
Secrets. Ross is great. I've hung out with him before. He rules, and his book is amazing and very helpful. So start with Speed Secrets, and then one of the rally schools.
Yep.
You learn so much. I think rally schools, even if you want to be good at grip driving,
Oh, 100%.
go to the rally school.
Yeah.
Don't go to the grip school.
Because it's not always dry.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And what you can learn on loose surface
Yeah.
definitely translates when it rains.
Yeah. Mindless Dribble says, what's the worst injury you've had?
Ooh, worst injury, probably my left ACL. Yeah, it was bad.
That's fucked up. Derek says you helped launch the Impreza 2.5 RS last year. Did they bring that back?
Yeah,
They
they
did?
did. Yeah, it's
I'm out of the loop.
it's the new. It's basically like the hatch, and they brought the 2.5 back.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's updated, but yeah, it still has like it has all the new features like cell phone charging,
CarPlay and shit.
It's like a great car. First car would be amazing.
But the question is, do you have any insights as to how Subaru came up with this naming structure and why they chose to bring back the nameplate now?
Well, they brought back the nameplate with the RS. It has the piston in it, with the graphic, which was really cool with the new emblem. It has like this piston logo. Aside from
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's like
the boxer piston
thing,
right?
Yeah. So they have that in the logo of the 2.5 RS, which is really cool. As far as like why they brought the car back, I don't really know too much about that side of it.
Well, naming things is hard, and you have to get like trademark clearance and all that kind of stuff. And so car companies in general, and I don't know if this is why Subaru did this, but in general, if a car company owns the rights to a name, and then they kill the car, and they want to bring back a new car that's similar to the one they killed, using the name they already own has multiple levels of payoff. There's like people who remember the last one, and then there's not having to get all that trademark shit done for the new name.
Right. It is a little sportier, I think that's why they went with the 2.5 RS.
I mean, I think
badge.
people remember RS as being a sporty thing. Even like if you are familiar with Porsches or any of the other, like RS is just a sporty nomenclature. Prashant said, now that skateboarding is in the Olympics, have you noticed a change in attitude to new people who ride?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely changed. It's thought of now more of a sport, and there's parents behind pushing their kids a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
And being more supportive and
It's
kind of like soccer mom,
now.
like soccer mom style, soccer dad, soccer mom. So yeah, it's definitely it's grown. Like it's crazy how good these kids are now.
Yeah, because they're just starting when they're like 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the tricks they're doing. I mean, they can't do an invert, but they can spin a 900.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
At like 6?
Yeah.
Well, they also like kids are fearless, and they are like incapable of being hurt.
Yeah.
So and they're small, so they're like, what is it, centrifugal force or whatever is really tight. So they just spin up really quickly.
Yeah,
they ride full size boards.
They ride smaller
boards. Yeah.
Wild. Like watching 12-year-olds snowboard, like compete.
It's crazy.
It doesn't make any sense. And then when you're 15, they're in the X Games and they're competing for like top 3. It's so wild.
You ever go to a fucking like a regional bull riding competition and realize that everyone riding the bulls is like a freshman in high school? I went to a local bull riding thing in Texas once.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably 3,000 or 4,000 people spectating. It was fucking big.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like PBR, right? And I watched them riding bulls, and then I saw them afterwards, and I was like, those are straight children. And their parents were like driving them home afterwards. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that is a bone-breaking, crushing job. Yeah. So to be young, yeah.
Kurt says, well, it presumes that he did, but it says, how did Ken Block influence your driving style, and what is the number one lesson he taught you? That assumes 2 things that may or may not be true, that he taught you lessons and influenced your driving style. But
well, we were very competitive when we raced. He was definitely in the better equipment at the time. So as far as like competing, he usually got the upper hand on me, and as far as driving goes, I watched Ken. I was actually driving well before Ken. I watched him pursue his driving passion by going out to Tim O'Neill's. He spent a lot of time in the car, and he progressed very fast because he was a moto guy, so he knew loose surface. So put him in a car, he's just way more ballsy.
Yeah,
and hence Ken's style. He would wreckers or checkers. You know what I mean? So what he taught me, I think, is just to be aggressive, and you put your heart into something, it's going to pay off.
Yeah. And I think the RD Speed Garage has a similar question, but like, why do extreme sport athletes have such great success transitioning into motorsports and building successful brands after their original career? They're less likely to get hurt, so they go really fucking hard.
It's way easier.
Yeah.
Way easier.
Yeah, and imagine how much more display space you have for your brand on the side of a car instead of the bottom of a skateboard or a helmet.
Yeah.
You got a huge billboard to work with now. I really liked when Travis's Gymkhana car had a huge billboard on the bottom of it. That
was so cool.
Yeah.
Such good detail.
Greg Scott said, last question, are there any rally stages you don't enjoy from a safety aspect? Walter Roll didn't want to race in rally in Finland because he didn't like the jumps, or have the cars improved so much that the terrain unsettling the ride is much less of an issue?
I don't really have issues on any of the stages aside from the ones where my wheel is barely holding on. Then I have an issue. So if the car is together, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
The jumps don't bother me. Sometimes there's some sketchy bits where like there's a cliff or, and then I just dial it back, depending on how my times are looking. You don't have to go full.
Yeah, I mean, have you, when you're doing rally, did you ever find yourself in a position where you were like, oh, I didn't push that hard, or I maybe I could have gone harder there, and you still win? Where you are doing really well because your level of pushing is actually higher than other people's? My
first rally was snowdrift. It was in the snow, no studs. I was doing second overall times in a way less power car. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I also didn't know how to gauge myself. So I took a stage off, and I just basically went way too slow. I was like, well, I was just driving comfortable, and I was like, well, I took way too much pace off. But other than that, I'm good to go as far as, like, I know my limits and how I can drive the car.
Yeah.
And I think moving forward, the only thing I could really do better is better pace notes. That's how you're going to get faster.
And when you mean making better pace notes yourself?
Yeah, yes,
yeah. Doing recce. And right now, are you just going off book?
Right now, I'm pretty much driving off of my pace notes, which aren't that great.
Yeah.
Where if my pace notes got better,
then
I would let my level.
But you're recceing. You're just being better at making the pace notes. Okay, I thought you meant you were just driving off provided notes.
No. You make your own notes.
Yeah, that's fucking good times, man. Thanks for coming and bringing this fish. Fuck me,
amazing.
That was just delightful treat. That's so great.
So what's next?
What's next? Fucking, we go home. I don't know. We can go get dinner if we want. We had the appetizer.
Yeah.
Follow Bucky's YouTube channel, Buck Yeah. And of course, Instagram, all that shit. It's car stuff, skate stuff. It's all up there.
Yeah,
the YouTube channel is all cars.
Give me some followers. There's some skating on there.
Oh, is there skating?
Yeah. When I'm not out doing car stuff,
I only click on the car stuff.
The skating stuff is actually pretty good. It's like me skating with like Cab and Tony and whoever's at the ramp. Some new guys here and there, but in general, it's just like the guys I skate with all the time, like Christian Assoy, Mike McGill, and Kevin Staub, and new guys like Jimmy Wilkins and Moto and all these other younger guys that are in X Games more so now.
Are you in that father figure vibe yet with the young guys?
I'm still pretty damn competitive, but like I said, I don't skate enough.
Yeah.
Where these guys are skating every day. Like aside from me being hurt the last 2.5 weeks, I haven't really skated that much. I'll skate like 3 times a week is normal for me. Where before I was skating every day.
Yeah. Well, stay alive. Don't fucking...
Play the long game.
Don't hurt yourself.
The fact that you and Tony and your friends are still skating like serious vert shit at 50 is awesome. Like, are street skaters at all doing that?
No.
No, their knees are gone.
I mean, they're still skating, but they're like skating like ledges, and they're not like jumping downstairs and still doing like crazy stuff on vert like we are. I speak for myself when I say that. I think I speak in general for everyone, actually, that vert skating, you're able to do it longer, but boy, do you pay the price when it's time to pay the piper.
Why is that?
Body doesn't like to fall when it's
why
old.
are you able to do it longer?
I think it's less less like stress on your body.
Because you're like, landing on the sort of sweeping down as opposed to landing on a flat.
My knees take it, my neck takes it, my wrist takes it, my elbows take it. But like in street skating, your ankles take it the most.
Well, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're bailing on a trick and it's not gone real wrong, you guys can kind of like, you know, take 2 steps and then you go to your knees, and so that absorbs the shock. Yeah. Whereas, I mean, if you're street skating and you bail on a trick, you're jumping off the board, landing on your feet on concrete, and running it out.
Ankles, knees, and back. It's harsh on the street.
That's why race cars are good. The cage can take
more
it.
Race cars.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you get to do some really cool shit in that rally car. That's amazing that you got it back. That's awesome. What was your level of success in that car?
It was a mid-pack car, best, and we got podiums with it.
Cool.
So
perfect. And now you have a better engine.
Now it's better now than it was then, 100%.
What gearbox does it use?
Sedev.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Oh, I bet it's rad.
It's been a long time since I drove a proper race car. I've been driving like a 6-speed STI transmission rally car, like a old GC, just dated, but fun. I love it. Like I love racing with the boys. Yeah. Where that's a proper race car. You know? It just felt so good.
Could you put like our compounds on that and take it to like a track day?
Gearing. I have changed gearing.
It's
like real short, right?
It's real short.
Yeah. But the Sedev, you could do that, right?
Oh,
that's
100%,
like what it's for.
Yeah, but I would have to like, if I'm going to do like, say like super lap battle in it, easy, change the gearing, it would rip.
Are you going to take it to, can you run it at the Rally Ready stage rally events, or is it just too high level and unfair?
I mean, I could. That car would be perfect at Rally Ready, but it would probably get just destroyed.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Save it for a larger event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well,
plus, it's very expensive to re-prep.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the service interval of that engine? Is it not the engine?
I guess it depends on. No, I mean that engine's pretty bulletproof. What Vermont sports car built, it's the time. You know, how much time is it going to see? The gearbox is definitely it has a time restraint as far as like when you should build it, rebuild it. Because if you don't rebuild it, then you're just going to wear it, and then
is it some really small interval? Is it like every 5 hours or something, or is it?
I think it's more than that now, but it used to be like every race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thanks.
Talk about consumables.
Yeah. And I think they still do it. Like Vermont still takes their rally car, brings it back to the shop, go through it.
Well, if you're running a season, like you probably did, but if it's like your personal toy. Then to go out and play for a weekend and need to completely rebuild the gearbox.
Plus, there's a whole like shitload of like list of stuff you got to go through. Like, I got to let the car warm up. I have to like only let it get so hot. You know, cool down laps are very important. It has a load map in it, so at least I can like drive it like across the parking lot and not have like anti-lag on and all that other crazy stuff. But it's crazy. Like, I love it, but I don't know how much track time that car is actually going to see.
Yeah.
Maybe this season with doing some demos and doing Gymkhana Grid. After that, maybe do something with Time Attack with it, just to kind of. But it depends on the Gymkhana Grid events, like how well that takes off, and if there's more of them, then this car might be perfect just to keep for that.
For sure. And you've got the white car too.
I have five other GCs.
That's perfect. Well, thanks for coming in and bringing us delicious snacks. And everyone go follow Bucky's shit.
Yeah, please
Bucky
do.
on YouTube and, of course, Instagram and all the social media stuff. And Gymkhana Grid, hopefully. That'll be fucking badass.
Yeah.
Thanks for the skate deck, too. We're going to hang that. We're gonna hang it somewhere in a position of prominence once I wipe the fish off it.
Am I going to leave it on there?
What's that smell? We'll just squeeze the rest of the lemon on there and freshen it up.
Wipe it off with lemon.
See you guys later. Good night.
See ya. Thanks.